Hello, this is Lisa Thomas Swain to speak with you about grantee records retention. The department requires that a filing system be established that makes finding all of the necessary source documents readily accessible. A retention checklist will be sent with every grant agreement. A copy of this checklist must be kept in the project file. All records must be maintained for a minimum of 5 years after the closeout of the grant. Next, we're going to be discussing process and required documentation. You must be sure to retain copies of your CDBG grant application and GATA registration documents. Among your required documentation, you must keep all environmental reviews. Additionally, maintain documentation related to your NOSAF and special grant conditions clearance. In addition to your fully executed grant agreement, maintain any documentation related to modifications, should these become necessary. You are also required to maintain complete files on the procurement and award of construction contracts. Regarding labor standards compliance, be certain to maintain all payroll documentation. As we've discussed, please retain all necessary forms in your files. It's important to maintain accurate and current financial records. If there are any changes in signature authorization, please inform DCEO immediately so as not to cause your grant delays later on. All CDBG grants will be monitored for compliance. Maintain accurate financial expenditure records. HUD requires compliance with equal opportunity employment standards. Please maintain all files related to this. If applicable, please maintain all direct benefit documentation related to your grant. Maintain all closeout documentation, including a final as-built or final records drawing that must match the proposed project to be constructed. Your grant retention files must retain all correspondence and monitoring documentation. Please note, CDBG grant documentation must be maintained for a minimum of 5 years after the department closes its federal funding year. In regard to the Preference Act, where 90% of Illinois laborers are required to be hired for construction projects, maintain a copy of the bid tabulation and the Notice of Contract Award to justify possible exception by DCEO Legal. If you have state funding in addition to CDBG, totaling more than $500,000, you must also now maintain files for the Illinois Works Apprenticeship Initiative.